Welcome into the Ringerverse. This is, of course, the Ringers Nexus podcast feed for all things fandom. We are Jomi the Explainer Adeniran. You've got questions, he's got answers. Non-spades playing motherfucker.
Nobody taught me how to play spades. I don't know what to tell you.
It's crazy. We are Steve, the architect Ahlman, the builder and tinker of things. Mr. Kite on lockdown.
Oh, there we go.
We are Coke Baby Chuck, the 24-karat closer, a.k.a. the brunch hottie, also Mr. Inject problems into your social life.
What did I do?
What do you mean?
We are.
What do you mean what?
Old Man Van, he had the receding resurgent hairline. Mr. His car stopped in the middle of the road.
What?
On
What?
Pico yesterday. And it was one of the most harrowing experiences of his life.
Jesus Christ.
Was this the Honda or the Tesla?
The Honda, the whole car shut off.
Oh no.
Oh,
And
no.
the police had to help me.
Oh,
And
God.
And everybody, I was in the middle of Pico in front of fucking Fox, battling with the whole, the fucking car's dead. What do you want me to do? Ruined my whole day.
Oh no.
Sorry,
God
man.
damn.
We also, on the boards, the ones and twos, we have Aleya and Zenieris, Arjuna, the Watcher, Ramgopal, that's your name. And of course, himself, his Hershey Bar Highness.
Oh, there we
No.
go. I like that. I like that one.
That is good.
His Hershey Highness.
Jonathan Kermag, we are known as the Midnight Boys. I want to say something real quick. As we give props to everybody helping us make this, we are the Midnight Boys, but there's a greater collective, and that's called the Midnight Collective. Okay, we're the Midnight Boys. This is the Midnight Collective, the people who are making this video happen here at Spotify. All right? Don't look like that, Charles. It's okay to bring other people in.
What did I do?
Not even 5 minutes in.
actually came in here wanting to apologize to you.
Why?
I have to be real, like for years at this point, we have been making fun of Van, old man Van. And you've been telling us, guys, age is gonna catch up to you. Be careful, be careful.
Your knee cracked.
Bro, I'm 31 years old and I hopped my first fence in years.
Oh
It
no.
took a
Just
toll.
cooked.
Oh, here's the thing. It wasn't the hopping. I was just like, that's not that
Was it
far of
when
a
you
dip.
came down when you landed?
I was wearing Chuck Taylors and I had to jump
I
on
can't do that.
concrete.
Nah, you shouldn't have done that.
No.
Bruh, my knees disintegrated. I was like,
Oh.
what the fuck, bro? I woke up today like,
It's so funny. Bro, it is. It's just, life is funny that way.
Things just hit you hard sometimes.
We used to play pickup basketball like all day long. And then between games, just be dunking. Just be dunking. And I remember the older cats used to be there, be like, what are you little niggas on? Like, we'll be like, hey, bro, look, I got it 2 hands, and bang, bang, just be dunking. And then one day, you get up and it's like, ooh.
you land and you
You're
like,
oh, what the hell?
I don't got the cushion. I just realized I'm like, oh, that cushioning is gone,
Carl,
bro.
that car is just running, bro.
So I apologize. I want to apologize to Van because, yeah, man, being washed really sneaks up on you.
Well, here's the good news. It only gets worse.
Way worse.
All right, follow us on socials, Insta, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. For now, save Jomi's job. Jomi.
Hey, job's going good. They appreciate you guys for doing all the following, the liking, and subscribing. Love you guys.
Interesting. Look, you guys, like, comment, and subscribe. YouTube.com/@Ringerverse. Guys, do it. The site, it's going really well. People are really digging the visuals.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole new galaxy for us.
Mhm.
We're into it. You guys excited about seeing yourselves?
No.
No.
Nah.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I
not.
don't watch the video. I just now started listening back to my voice on the podcast.
Mhm.
There's no way in hell I'm watching the videos.
I'm fine with hearing myself. It's more just
I do be
seeing
watching
myself.
I do see the video sometimes. I'm like, damn, the ladies of LA so lucky, bro.
Oh my God.
Because of you?
Oh
Yeah,
my
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hollywood Holmes.
What'd you just call them though?
The ladies of
Oh,
LA.
that's what the fuck. I'm
Growth.
talking
Wow,
about.
growth.
That's what.
Growth.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
He
talking
took
about.
the notes. He took
Yeah,
the
like,
notes,
you
folks.
see what I'm saying? And they are, by the way. They're very lucky to have 3 guys like yourselves who are out there ready to put the dick.
Whoa!
It-
don't do that to Steve.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, Steve, Steve is in a relationship. Also, the Ringverse will be live at the El Rey Theater this summer in LA. We'll be there on July 17th. Check out ringer.com/events for more information. How was the Talk to Throne show last
Oh,
night?
it was awesome.
Lit. It was
Fantastic.
awesome.
Guys, you guys are going to actually want to come. Like, they did an amazing job. Shout out Talk to Throne, CR, Joe, Mao. Ringerverse, we're going up.
Oh.
I'm getting competitive. Who are we inviting out? We need to invite some guests
All
out.
kinds of people. We can get whoever we want to come out there. So, I mean, who you guys want? Like, what are we going to do? Who we want?
Ryan Reynolds?
He's not coming.
You said anyone.
Anybody.
I'm
Not
just letting
him.
you know he's not going to be there. I mean,
That's the week before Deadpool and Wolverine.
Name somebody else?
Mother's Milk.
Never.
Never.
Not going to do it.
Tough.
Not gonna do
Yeah.
it.
How about someone else? Name someone
Anthony
else.
Mackie.
Nah.
No? Oh. I thought you liked us.
You ruined that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those are two guys who, by the way, actually, to be honest with you, those are two guys that might come if I ask them. Yeah, but Anthony Mackie, you'd have to do some work right there. Just so you guys know, it was obviously Anthony Mackie. Surprise! Program reminders! Every Tuesday and Thursday, House of R will deep dive into the House of the Dragon and the Acolyte, and I'm listening to the House of R right now like it's required reading. Not so much for the Acolyte, but for I can't get enough Game of Thrones. I can't get enough House of Dragon right now.
Yeah,
House of
it's
R
great.
doing a great job. Every Monday and Thursday, the Midnight Boys will give you their reactions to Hot D. And Thursday, we're going to do The Boys and the Acolyte, which is, of course, today. Every Sunday, Talk to Thrones will be up right after the latest episode of Hot D ends. They give you the instant reactions, and you come back and you get the deep dive. You're double dipping right there. It's great stuff. On Friday, Ringverse Recommends returns with our Recs for the month of June. I got to say something right now. Shout out to Ringverse Recommends. It's a fantastic idea, a fantastic podcast being put together by Ben fucking Lindbergh. Ben Lindbergh is now drunk with power. He's drunk with power over Ringverse Recommends. Interesting. Okay. Bud Mash, fantastic podcast. Great listen, right? But specifically, Ringverse Recommends has been fucking Lindbergh drunk with power. He calls you up. He's like, yo! I'm like, hello? Who the fuck is this? Yo, it's been fucking Lindbergh. Who the fuck you think it is? What you recommending this month? I don't think I want to do it this month. You don't think you want to do it? You don't think you want to fucking do it? Let me tell you what you're going to do. What am I going to do, Ben? You're going to fucking do it. Now pick a delightful fucking show and get on board. And I just picked something. He called me up and he was like, do you and Steve have a problem? Are you guys trying to recommend this
Right.
show? And I was like, Ben, we just had a conversation about it. He's like, yo, get it the fuck together or I'm going to charge you juice every fucking week, 5% on top of the VIG for Ben fucking Lindbergh. All right, that's enough. There you go. You guys, I didn't get any sleep last night. I'm sorry. This is going to be an unhinged podcast.
I love it.
Yeah, you like it. All right, today's show, we're going to give you reactions to episode 4 of The Boys and the Acolyte. Spoiler warning for all this stuff. We're getting ready to talk about
The Boys.
You're listening to a reaction podcast. The spoilers are coming. All right, Charles, do the manifest thing. Tell the people what they need to know.
All right. This is your manifest for The Boys. Beware the Jabberwock, My Son, directed by Shayna Stella, written by Judalina Nera. The 7 are spiraling out at the V-52 Expo. Homelander is having flashbacks to all the scientists he killed. Sister Sage is on to A-Train as the mole. The Deep is beefing with the PR guy, and Ryan is becoming more of Homelander's son. Butcher and Mother's Milk go to prison and hand Stan Edgar a presidential pardon if he can help them find the soup-killing virus that Victoria is hiding. Stan leads the boys to an upstate home where they find a ransacked lab and eventually Victoria. The group works together to solve the mystery of where the scientist and Victoria's husband went. Eventually, the crew runs into Compound V-powered farm animals and team up to take them down. Butcher stages Victoria's husband's killing so he can make more of the virus. Huey's dad wakes up with phasing powers thanks to Compound V, but his broken memory sends him on a killing rampage. At his father's behest, Huey ends up putting him down rather than see him suffer as a soup. That's your Midnight Manifest for The Boys.
Chuck, what you got?
I think this season might be spinning its wheels a little bit.
Wow.
I would say the episode, outside of the Huey stuff, I think the episode did.
It was... What?
I agree.
Let this man talk.
Why are you starting problems, bro? Like, why are you starting problems today?
It's not this is like Charles, whatever. Like the man had one sentence out. You jump in like a goddamn shark.
That's what we do. That's the entire fucking show.
We're laying down a new era today. No crosstalk. I'm just joking.
Locking down until I'm spoken to.
Oh no, I mean, I think now that we know that Eric Kripke has said that this is the penultimate season, there's only one more left.
Mm-hmm.
I am starting to get a feeling, like, especially with this, I'm like, oh, like farm animals that have compound V is like funny and it's like a cool visual, but nothing really happened in this episode that I felt like pushed the plot forward. And there were some moments in it where I was like, this almost is starting to kind of feel like a parody of itself. Because when like Victoria's like, hey guys, guess what? Butcher, he stabbed y'all in the back again. They're all like, Butcher, how could you? And I'm like, motherfucker. I was like,
that old Butcher.
I was like, guys, I think this is the second time he stabbed y'all in the back just this season. This happens almost every other episode. What's going on? So I don't think that it was, I don't think The Boys is ever like out and out bad, but there were moments where I was like, oh, you guys, there's not as much juice in the tank as I thought there was.
Yeah, look, I enjoyed the episode. I really did. But I'll say this, though. I understand what you're saying. I understand what both you guys are saying. And I'll say this. Because normally what you have is these outrageous things that happen in The Boys. Yep. But like, it's propped up by real intrigue. Like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? How are they going to find themselves out of this? Or if not intrigue, a sense of impending doom and danger.
Yeah.
Like they're up against something. Homelander's breathing down their neck. Their lives are on the line. This episode felt like a lot of those same stunts, but without real stakes underneath them. It kind of felt like a boy's adventure. Like a side
They've had
mission.
those episodes before in the seasons, but I do think that, like, at least the first 3 seasons especially, there was a momentum to the show where it did feel like, oh, motherfuckers can die at any point. No one is safe. And I'm getting that feeling, at least through the first, like, 5, we're on episode 5, that I'm just like, Huey's safe. Like, last episode, like, Homelander had him in his sights and just flew off.
Well, I mean, I think that's something that the show is contending with. You're not going to lose any of those guys, right? The show is contending with how to, like, maintain the stakes in the world. I'll say that the overall point of this season, The Thing, it's just not as pointed as it's been in the past.
Yeah.
It's not as clear what this season is about as some seasons in the past have been.
Yeah, I feel like I get this underlying suspicion that I feel like the show's prepping us for at least 1, if not 2 major deaths by the end of this season.
Yeah.
Because there's kind of had again, you said this underlying of like nobody's safe this season. Like we felt relatively safe, at least for our like, you know, main heroes. But I don't know. The idea that Frenchie's plot is like kind of winding down. He's looking for absolution. He's like talking to God a bit more and like talking about like the ideas of forgiveness.
He got to thug it out.
And isn't really like
bro.
he's like
it's not the time to catch a conscience.
lock
buddy.
in. Lock in.
then
Like French
not
needs to
to-
lock in.
And then
Yeah.
Mother's Milk is just like, he's like, I gotta be better for my daughter. And I've got to make sure that like, I got to get her back. And then I'm like, this is the type of stuff that when the show actually wants to like either stop spinning its wheels
Yeah.
or ratchet up the stakes, somebody's probably going to bite it.
See, the problem is that nobody cares about that stuff.
I think that's what it is. I think the show isn't spinning its wheels per se. It's just that the stuff that we're getting is not all that interesting. So we're looking for the other stuff and it's not really there. You know what I mean? I do think I like this episode. I think
I liked it too.
like you, Van.
Yeah.
But you know, the scene at the end with Homelander, where he's like, guys, all this celebrity stuff, rah, they're cutting that out. You know, we're gonna start locking in. We're gonna start taking over places. Might be ugly, but you kill this guy right here, locked in. I think that's interesting going forward, right? What does that mean for the 7? What does that mean for Vought when these guys are no longer paraded as heroes and celebrated, but they're actual villains, right? I think that going forward could be interesting if we see more of that. The Butcher, the scene at the end with Butcher, right? By the way, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is not real. There's no way in hell that guy is actually there.
Oh, you think he's in Butcher's head?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, it
probably.
is the
Absolutely.
classic. No one else has had a conversation with him
Yeah,
the
that's
entire
true.
season.
Well, and remember in that scene, He's like, we're gonna do something to you, and the guy goes like, it looks, at least to me, face went.
He's the only one looking. Yeah,
it's just you and
me. And he looks at me. He goes, "Classic Butcher." I'm like, I don't know. It feels off.
It feels weird. Like I've been going like being like, oh, is this their play on like a Venom thing where it's just like, is that basically whatever is like the little worm thing, black thing? Is that just the manifestation?
Well, you have to remember, he also sees his wife.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe it's part of his powers. It's just like now he sees dead people he lost in the past.
He just hallucinates?
Just hallucinates.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of like Klaus in Umbrella Academy. You can just like talk to the dead.
But if there's a manifestation of why Butcher acts unilaterally as much as he does, and why it seems that sometimes he is activating people rather than teaming up with them, I think that's an interesting narrative device, a narrative tool to use. And I think I think a lot of the stuff that they're doing in the season is sort of interesting, but I don't know if the tension is there like it's been in the past seasons. I mean, like Butcher and Homelander were in a room earlier, and you didn't have that feeling that Homelander might kill him. It doesn't, like Victoria Newman comes around all the time. They want her dead, but when they're in her presence, they don't try to kill her.
Also, she don't pop their heads, which is so funny.
She doesn't pop their heads. They're not doing it. It seems like everybody's at a standstill. Everyone's fighting, but they're sharing dialogue and they're sharing.
And sometimes it's the razor thin of stalemates that they're in order to just move that plot along.
Well, I mean, it's mutually assured destruction, right? Like you do this, then I do that. It's a lot of people who have a lot of, again, very interconnected, right? They got a lot of beef. Everybody knows way too much about each other.
Right.
So you step the wrong way, boom, I got you. I stepped the wrong way, boom, you got me.
Can I say something?
It's kind of tough, but...
Sorry, I did the same thing Steve did to Charles earlier on in the show.
Okay.
But you know what, though? You can't make a movie about mutually assured destruction. You never make movies about that. You make movies about nearly getting to nuclear war.
Okay.
Right? So War Games isn't about the state of mutually assured destruction. Mutually assured destruction is Tuesday. It's perpetual. It always exists. Right? So you wake up Monday, the reason why they didn't fire on each other is because of mutually assured destruction. It's always there. You make a movie or a show or a piece of drama about the time that it almost happens. Like, my God, like War Games is about, oh my God, they're gonna fire on each other. The Hunt for Red October is about, oh my God, they're gonna fire on each other. Crimson Tide is about, oh my God, they're gonna fire each other. It's about the time to where it's about to go down.
Yeah.
And these two powers that can destroy each other are about to, and why they don't. That tension is lacking from this season, even though we understand that there's mutually assured destruction all around. It doesn't seem like they're at the brink or at the edge of it.
Yeah.
It's missing a little bit something because of that. But this is the middle of the season and they got 3 episodes left, or 4 episodes
Also,
left,
do we
it is.
think that it's like last season? I think one of my favorite scenes of The Boys period is when Butcher and Homelander were in, I think it was Homelander was at Butcher's house, and they basically had that long conversation where they basically say, not only do we, it's the classic Batman Joker thing where we need each other, but it was a reckoning of like, this is going to end at some point. And I'm just like, if you have 2 more seasons after that scene, it starts to be like, I get that you guys need each other, but at a certain point, someone's going to have to pull the trigger. And I'm just like, I just kind of know, I'm like, it's just not happening. I'm just like, these two are the show now. So even when they make jokes like, I almost had a chance to kill Homelander and I didn't. I'm like, you guys have had thousands of chances to kill Homelander and you never do it because he has to come back. And I think it's a similar thing to like even V52, the whole Expo thing. I'm like, you guys making fun of like Disney, like D23, Marvel, the MCU, the big slate would have been way funnier in season 1, season 2. But I'm like, y'all got spinoffs now. You are one of the most successful shows on Amazon.
Yeah.
So it's like
you're kind of becoming the thing that you're doing.
Really good
yeah,
point.
so I'm just like, the punches even this season don't land as much because I'm like, The Boys went from being like the outlier, the thing we watched, to be like, oh shit, they're making fun of the biggest thing in the room, to now I'm like, The Boys is...
You're kind of up there.
You're the biggest thing in the room.
You know what this is? I used to call this Limp Bizkit disease.
Please describe Limp Bizkit disease.
This is Limp Bizkit disease. So there was a time when Limp Bizkit was like touring around.
Oh yeah.
And they were like this cool band that had made, and people don't remember this.
I don't.
Like, because you're too young. Okay, we get it, Jomi. You fucking don't you?
Your knees are gonna turn to dust just
yeah,
as
what
much
you
as
sucking on some
They
Similac
already
right
have.
there. Yeah, there's two. By the way, how you 28 this year?
Yes.
You're old.
I don't.
You're done.
I didn't
That's
say I
that's
was
good.
young.
Yeah, but look, so this time when Limp Bizkit was like, oh my God, this is like pop punk band, whatever people like, or pop rap band, whatever the fuck it is,
I thought it was new metal.
rap rock, whatever it is, right? And they're covering George Michael's Faith. And so yeah, you hear about this band or whatever, and then they go mainstream. And when they go mainstream and these records come out and they pop, their fans eventually get sick of them. Now the people that are Limp Bizkit fans are actually people that heard about Limp Bizkit from TRL, from Total Request Live. The people that were going to shows when they're now, they don't like seeing Method Man on a song with them. They don't like that. They thought they were our band. They were like, Wes from Limp Bizkit actually said this. He goes, like, I don't like the fact that the people who used to like us don't like us anymore. And that happens to everything. It happens to everything when what you're doing and what you're connected to. Like, I felt like this about Star Wars. I felt like this about, I did.
Star Wars was
When did you
the
feel like
biggest thing in the world forever. What are we talking about?
Okay, but see, here's the deal. It was the biggest thing. But for a long time, we were still kind of a subculture. We were still people.
Well, it's because you had to wait 30 years
we had
for
to
something.
dig around in books, comics.
legends,
it wasn't that accessible. You had to go do it. And then now it's just different. I know it's always been the biggest thing, but it's different. Now there's a Star Wars theme park, and there's Star Wars television shows, and there's toys that you can buy in Walmart, not at the convention. It feels, it's
Can I be
always been
real?
big, but it feels different.
Let's have a healing moment.
Let's have it. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
You are very successful, Van. You have a beautiful woman, a beautiful dog, a beautiful family. We gotta let go of the little nerd inside.
Never.
You gotta. You still are holding on to that hurt of like, I remember when.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. I was a nerd too. I still am. It's fine.
Yeah. See, this is the kind of people that tell you just like let go of Jim Crow.
Okay, wait. Please get us over that bridge, baby. Lock us in.
Good, apt metaphor.
Come on.
The you saw that in Selma. You saw that in Selma. The Independence Bridge.
Yes.
See, the Independence Bridge. You saw that in Selma. You saw it in Selma.
We gotta play the drums,
Montgomery
bro.
was play the drums.
You gotta play the drums. You saw that in Selma. It's like apt metaphor.
That metaphor, he was like, look
You
at
know
me.
what? Because
Yeah.
here's the thing. I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget because it's a part of me. It
I'm saying
grounds
just
me.
forgive. Don't forget. Forgive.
No, I'm not forgiving shit. Okay? I'm not forgiving anything because it's part of me to remember. It helps me to, number one, appreciate the content that we're getting right now.
Right.
And number two, it also helps me to understand that there's a deeper connection. I'm not like you, Charles. I'm not one of these pull my nerd fan boots up by the bootstraps and get over the whole situation. I want to have Juneteenth. I want to recognize and remember all of this stuff.
All right. So all I will say is that if you don't forgive, that's how we have all that incel shit, all that negativity, all that. This used to be ours. I can't. There's a black woman who has the force. Get the fuck out of here. No, like that's that incel shit. You got to let that go.
Okay, that's a good point, but I'll say that that's different though.
How's that different?
Because I was having sex.
Right.
Yes.
I was.
That's true.
I will say-
That's the
was
market
that-
demarcation.
It was different though, because like I'll read legends between rounds. You know, so it wasn't. I wasn't. I mean, I'm sorry. Like I'll read.
Are you Christian Bale in American Psycho,
it'll be
just like reading a Thrawn
it'll
novel?
Be like over, and then I'll pop out. You know what I mean? Heir to the Empire. It's like, and she'll be put her chin right on my. What you reading? What is that? Oh my! This is about Luke. This is about Luke Skywalker.
I will say,
you know what I'm saying?
You know, shout out losing your virginity. There is a moment where I was like, damn, these comic books are great.
He's like, we gotta let some shit go.
But I'm
though.
like, having sex is dope. I'm like, we gonna read this.
No, because Because I'll be honest with you. So I was a little anxious. Every summer I would go into, you guys know I have anxiety issues, right? Every summer I would go into this weird trance to where it was just, I had too much time on my hands to think about things. Mm-hmm. So every summer since I was like 12, I would spend like at least 6 weeks thinking about the end of the world. Like paying attention to North Korea and the whole nine and getting freaked out and the whole nine. I'm serious.
Since you were 12.
And like every summer, every summer, it would just be weird. I would be sitting down like after baseball or whatever, and I would just be thinking about stuff, reading the encyclopedia, just going crazy. And then something happened. I literally remember the day I saw a bra strap and I was like, there are actually breasts under there. And then for years after that, the pursuit of girls destroyed my anxiety.
You saw a titty in the wild and you were just like, you know what? The world ain't ending tomorrow, bro.
Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Life's worth living.
I did not care about it ending. I was like, as long as I can achieve certain things before it ends.
Right. No, this is real shit.
And then things will be cool. And so we gotta get back to the show. But as long as I achieve certain things before it ends, and then that lasted for about 6 years until I got to be like 20, 21, and then all of the anxiety came back.
Oh no.
Because I was like, I've been doing my thing and nothing really changed. There's still a lot of problems out here. Right. And then you have to actually, maybe I should go deal with myself.
That's actually the story of the boys. Because like Huey got with Starlight, everything's cool, He takes his eye off the ball. He's not locked in.
There's more to life.
Speaking of Huey, let's talk about this Huey episode.
Painful.
I'll tell you guys something. The boys has always gone right up to the limit of, I don't want to be looking at this, and stopped. Maybe it's just me. I found this episode with Huey and his father insanely hard to watch.
I had to do this. Like when he checks his dad and he's saying goodbye, I literally was like, I was like, this is uncomfortable. Not in a bad way. That's what that scene is supposed to do. But to your point, I was like, all right.
So, but here's the thing. This is the reason why it was hard to watch. Obviously, you guys know, just full disclosure, it's a time between Father's Day and between the 4th of July is like super hard time for my family and all of that stuff. But it's not that, because I know people are going to think that. It's not that. So they give Huey's dad the Compound V. In this story arc, Huey's father is never going to live, right?
Yes.
He's not going to live.
Yeah. I didn't think he was going to die that fast, though.
I know, but we get to the end point. Once he starts merging into people or whatever he was doing, he's probably not going to live. He killed so many people needlessly.
Yes.
For him to essentially have the same fate that he would have had if Huey wouldn't have shot him up with the Compound V.
I mean, the wife shot him up.
The wife shot him up, excuse me. The wife shot him, the mother shot him up with the Compound V. It's just very difficult for me to watch. And I know they treat the human beings in the show like props. I get it. But it was very difficult for me to watch like all of those people die like horrible deaths just for them to have this family ending at the end where Huey takes his father's life. It was just, for the first time, and this has never happened before with the show. I mean, people get splattered, and stuff happens, but it kind of took me out of it. I was just like, Jesus Christ.
As in it was too much? It was like not...
It was like legit horrifying, like scary. The guy doesn't know what's happening to him. He's ending up in people. He's ripping people's hearts out. All of these people are in the hospitals. One guy's talking to someone. Huey's dad ends up for all of that to happen, just for them to have this like sort of pseudo-sentimental send away from him. It's like, it was too much. I felt, I don't know. It's for the first time I felt like this isn't.
It was gratuitous.
Yeah.
And I can understand that. I think the extended metaphor of like Huey finally learning to let his dad go already happened in the episode prior where he's like, well, I'm not going to shoot him up with V. Like, I'm going to actually accept what's coming to him so that we can all move on from this. And there isn't actually really like a catharsis with the mom who did this to him.
Because she's up to something.
And clearly Huey's like swept up in the emotion of the fact that like he wants his dad back. He's not ready to say goodbye now that he's like kind of up and at him, but ripping people apart and killing people needlessly. So he's like, okay, this has to end. This has to stop. It was incredibly sad, but I'm very curious as to how this is going to inform him.
But my thing is, by the end, it wasn't sad. I mean,
I don't know. It was pretty.
It was
it
still
wasn't
sad.
sad to
It
me.
was
At the
sad,
end, I
man.
was like, put this motherfucker to death. Like,
God damn.
That's
no,
crazy.
I'm serious,
get
bro.
that.
Like,
No,
yeah,
I mean,
agree,
it was watching Huey go through it at the end.
right.
Was sad, but at the end, I'm like, yo, man, this motherfucker got to be stopped. He got to
So can
die.
I
Yeah,
ask you
I-
this? Does it fundamentally break the show a little bit where, and maybe this is where they're going with you as a character, where Huey was always our entry point into this world? Because when A-Train kills Robin, you realize in that first episode, this is a world where not only do the heroes not care, but to your point, the humans are just props. And I'm just like, Huey's dad basically does to all of these people what A-Train did to Robin, and at no point do we really see like Huey care that much. And I'm just like,
Doesn't give a fuck about all of these people that
Mhm.
just died.
I mean,
Yeah.
in episode 2, he blew up translucent. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of this thing
Exactly.
where
no.
like,
But I'm saying
But that wasn't his
but
dad.
I know, but I'm saying by now, right? Ah, shit, niggas die. That
But
good stuff.
Huey's supposed to care about humans.
And I
like
th-
that's his driving
Yeah.
thing.
And I think, and maybe this is me like looking forward, speculating a little bit. Remember, his mom gives him the ring, right? And she's like, "You gotta propose to Annie." He's like, "Nah." You know, it's like Chekhov's ring. That's coming back, and I think maybe this is Huey's way of going like, "Hey, man, I'm done. Like, I can't. Like, this entire life, I might have to walk away."
Right. Because
You know,
he
Annie-
forgave A-Train. Like he's letting
Forgave
go of the
A-Train,
hate.
letting go of
that-
his dad,
yeah.
right? Like at this point, why am I here? Yo, Annie,
oh,
let's
if he
get
leaves the
married and get
boys,
out of
he's
here.
dead. He's like, if he's like, bye, Homelander's killing that motherfucker.
I mean, he still has the information. Like, he still has, like, the files. Like, those are his files. I guess those are Newman's files. But at the same time, like, I guess,
He'll give that up, I guess.
you know what I mean? But I think this is all setting the stage for Huey to go, like, you know what, guys? Y'all got it, man. Like, I can't, my dad, this whole entire thing, like,
Which
I'm
of all
walking
the
away.
things that could have stopped him on this journey that he's had with them, like this finally being the thing, I don't know.
I mean,
It feels a little inert.
I don't know. Again, I liked that ending because normally when they do the whole, like, somebody's dying and go, hey, man, we gonna go on that vacation. Yeah, we gonna, you know, yeah.
Do the Da Vinci Code
yeah,
tour.
we're gonna do that. That moment, I was like,
Yeah, no, it was very sad.
Man, it's
I'll be
pops,
honest,
bro.
I didn't really give a fuck about Huey's dad because like that motherfucker's barely in the show. So I'm like,
fair.
it is sad, but I'm just like,
It was. I thought the last episode when Huey had to confront it after Kimiko says you should probably just let him die.
Mm.
I thought that was moving. I think this one there was the boys is gore. Look, you guys,
Mm.
I'm here for it. I can stomach it. But like this, the terrifying flying sheep, like the
That was funny to me.
that was
That
funny.
entire thing was hilarious.
It was but they were. I was scared of them.
no, the chickens were the ones where when the chicken
Chickens
just
were so
Can't
I
do
was
the
like,
oh,
if
man.
it was played
they were
Zelda,
shooting at the
they know.
chickens.
And they just
So-
go ping, ping, ping.
When when the sheep, they finally get away from the sheep, Frenchie's like, gotta do this. Can't believe this happened again. Kimiko's like, no, again?
No, the
Yeah.
best line of the whole episode is that man is in no condition to fuck a sheep.
Let's talk
Frenchie was on
about
one.
the Homelander Ryan situation here.
Mm.
I'm done.
You're done with Homelander
Really?
and Ryan.
Punt that little kid out of here, bro.
You're
Like,
not fucking with Ryan.
hell no. Because here's the thing. The show needs to decide what they want to do with Ryan because he's just like, Ryan's like, I love Butcher and I love being a human. And then he sees what's the character's name that is harassing the
That
woman?
The director
Director
guy,
guy?
yeah.
The director guy. I'm like, you're telling me that Ryan's like evil Superman moment is like slap him harder. I'm just like, I'm glad you're doing this. This is great, Ryan. Like, kudos to you. But this is the Breaking Bad moment. Like, it was just like,
I don't know.
I don't know. This is step one to Homelander getting the son he wants,
Yeah.
right? That's the whole thing. He was like, he goes back to his place and he realized, oh, I definitely wasn't raised. I wasn't raised right. If I want to get my son to be like me, I gotta think outside the box a little bit.
Yeah.
No more controlling. Let's try plan B. Plan B is like, hey, you know, do what like what do you think you should do? Okay, cool. Encouraging him. But in like Homelander's way, be like, oh, you want to help? Like, ask him what take his wallet.
Mhm.
Get his keys. A little bit of power.
But Ryan has enough morality to realize that him killing a stuntman was wrong. And then in this episode, he's just like, you know what? I should start listening to Homelander
But hold on,
again.
but I think this is the thing that's interesting about this to me. Homelander is misjudging Ryan. So think about this. So the freedom in this entire situation between Homelander and Ryan is that Homelander is saying, Ryan, you don't have to do any of the stuff that we do. I lived my entire life for other people. And in living my entire life from other people, all it made me was like hollow.
Yep.
And I can't be fulfilled. And I'm always looking for other people's approval. So he tells Ryan, you don't have to do that, right? He tells Ryan, you do not have to do that. Like, you don't have to do the movie. You don't have to do any of this stuff, which he says is freeing Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
He's freeing Ryan from
emancipating him from slavery.
Emancipating him from
that
slavery.
shit was
That was
wow.
I was like, all
emancipating
right,
him from slavery,
But it was
right?
worse.
But here's the deal, though. Ryan still decides in a grotesque way to set a wrong right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like he's still what Homelander is misjudging is like Ryan didn't automatically do something for himself.
That's fair.
What the first thing that it was his knee jerk was to do was to make a weaker person strong.
yes.
Like it was in him for some reason, be it his mom or be it Butcher or be whatever, to take a regular person that's being fucked over by somebody who's powerful and make them strong. Homelander is actually, he's actually misjudging Ryan. He's thinking that what Ryan's gonna do is do what Homelander would do. First thing, Homelander gets fucking emancipated or whatever, and the first thing he does is put somebody through pain. Now, Ryan did that too, but he did it on behalf of somebody who's weaker. There's something heroic inside of him that has to be funneled and channeled in the right way.
Yeah.
Homelander is thinking, hey, you want this guy's keys? You want this guy's card? That's not what he wanted. What he wanted was to help the girl that was being sexually harassed by her boss.
Yeah.
So the question for me moving forward is Homelander going to be able to stop Ryan from being a hero? And is Butcher going to be able to stop Ryan from being brutal? And so that's the kind of thing that was interesting to me, like when I saw that. Now, the way they went about it obviously was fucked up.
Right. That's the Homelander way.
That's the Homelander way. The way that they went about it was fucked up. But his thing,
I don't know. I was like, hey, man, get some extra slaps. I was like,
look, I'm with it.
Yeah.
But that's also subjugating her to that as well.
Yeah, I'm with it.
I mean, she was like,
She
hey,
tells
mama,
her
she
to
was
slap
like,
him.
But at the
locked
same
in.
time, though, when she got to go, that's what I'm talking about.
She wound up.
She was into it. She was sick of this motherfucker.
I mean, he do got like in the show, he do got that slimy, sleazy thing down where I'm just like, hey man, I see it. Here's the thing. You've been like, I hate Pluck now. Ever since you've been on this
Wow.
Pluck shit,
Wow.
Yeah.
Ryan's
Wow.
so plucky. I'm like, get this plucky motherfucker out of here.
Well, Plucky ruins everything.
Damn.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Disney,
Am I gonna be like that when I
I
turn 30, man?
I tell you right now, Skeleton Key is on notice.
Oh, God.
Skeleton Key.
Yeah.
Starting you.
Skeleton
Jesus
Key is on
Christ.
notice. I think it could be a Pluck factory. I think we can
It's
have
absolutely
going
going to be a plug
I think
factory.
we can have some of the most disgusting displays of Pluck I've ever seen before.
That's
in
why I
my
stopped
life.
Stranger Things, because it was too plucky for me. Them kids
Yeah.
was having too much fun on summer
It's okay,
vacation.
they'll
I'm
be
like, get
40
that shit
next
out of here,
season.
bro.
So.
Yeah,
My
sure.
thing about Stranger Things is this, and I fuck with Stranger Things, is but if they got demons in my town, I'm not going to the malt shoppy to have a fucking malt.
You're not going to
get a
ride
hot
your
dog.
bike over to the ice cream
Fuck
shop. No.
Mom, let's get out of here.
It's time to move.
You know
Start
what I'm
applying
saying?
for jobs in other cities,
Like,
my
you
boy.
know what I'm
It's
saying?
time
Like,
to go.
hey, let's, there's a place where people go, and I'm not one of these people. Like, let's say I lived in Derry, right?
Okay.
With
And I'm
it.
having dreams of a clown.
Not Derry, Ireland.
No.
Derry, was it
Derry-
Pennsylvania? It's Maine. Where's it at?
That was Derry, Illinois.
I will never watch this.
It's not Derry, Illinois. It doesn't even say it's Maine. It's Maine. It's Maine, right?
I've
It's
never
Maine,
watched
right?
it. I wouldn't
like,
know.
Arjuna
Hold on.
knows. Arjuna like demonic shit like that. Like it's like, let's say I'm gonna go to my mom. I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna let y'all know something right now. My friends want to form a pact, and they want to fight a centuries old demon, and they want to beat him. Mom and Dad, I don't want to do that.
Right.
I think that we should move to Sandusky, Ohio.
See, but like if you're in Stranger Things, is your mom Winona Ryder and is seeing like, you know, the writing on the walls and like making like little light shows with the stuff?
Well,
Or
let's
is
say
it-
that that's happening. Let's
sure,
say that that's
that your
happening.
mom is doing that.
Then we have a whole different Stranger Things show.
Sure.
The show of somebody who's run away from home to build a new life in a
Oh, right. Okay.
Wait, is
Ran away
that
from their
why there's
parents.
never like there's only like one black person in Amblin movies? Because it's always like I'm like a black person is not sticking around for this shit. You know what I'm
I
saying?
always feel bad for those kids. Like the one black kid that's with the rest of these crazy white kids. It's a demon
Like,
in their
these
town.
are what my white friends get up to.
It's a demon in the town, and the white kids be like, let's come together and fight the demon. Whoa, this guy's killed 36 people. I'm like, no, I'm not fighting the
That's
demon.
like here's the thing. Even it doesn't even got to be a demon. When I'm watching ET and they're all like, "Let's get on our bikes and outrun the cops," I'm
Bruh,
like,
let me
"Nigga,
tell you something
no."
right now. Let me tell you something.
I'm like, no.
Let me tell you something
Oh
right now.
my
First of all,
goodness.
if they would have been trying to outrun the cops with ET, they'd have all been dead. If there was black kids, the cops would have been like, bam, 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 everybody dead. Let me tell you something right now.
Wait, they wouldn't have even got off the block.
Nah, they would have got off.
Yeah,
The block. Hey,
that's crazy.
hey, where you going on that bicycle? Huh? What's under that towel? God damn it! Come over here! Come over here now! Stop resisting!
They shoot that
Stop resisting! Stop resisting! E.T. would have been dead. E.T.'s like,
Hands
yo.
up, no shoes.
E.T.'s like, yo, like, why they treating us? Like, why? Like, what?
I was just eating Reese's Pieces.
Like, why they treating us like that? It's like,
No, dog, can you imagine? They like, he got a gun in his hand. It's just a Reese's Pieces.
is that it drops it? Boom, 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 boom. And the cops walk over.
Oh my God, man.
The cop walks over. The cop goes,
I thought it was a gun. It was Reese's Pieces.
well, what do we do now? Because E.T. do look like an old black nigga in a way. But he does. He looks like an old. My dad always used to say that. My dad used to say E.T. looked like your Uncle E. Gent. Rest in peace.
He looks like your uncle. That's
my Uncle
insane.
Gent. He's like,
to say.
E.T. look like your
You
Uncle
got a
Gent.
picture of your Uncle Jin?
Nah, rest in peace, Uncle Jen. But he died in like 87. But look, so I'll say, you know, all of that. Like, even as a black kid, the moment I saw E.T., I would have personally called the CIA. You know
Oh yeah.
what I'm saying?
I would have never taken E.T. home. Like, 'cause
No.
here's the thing. Why would you invite him into the house? I'm like, bro, this nigga's radioactive. I don't know.
Bro, that's how the demons are supposed to not be able to get into the house. You got to invite them in.
I mean,
They
that's
just-
vampires,
but yeah.
Whatever, okay? They
doesn't care about the
they
lore.
brought
Doesn't matter,
E.T. in
yeah.
the house, wrapped him up in a towel. I got a little alien friend. That's not happening, baby. It can't happen to me. It's not gonna be me. It's not
Yeah.
gonna happen to me.
What happens if your mom found E.T.?
Oh, that's it, bro.
That's no, honestly,
But that's my mom.
that's your movie. It's like a 12-year-old black kid trying to like avoid every single 80s adventure horror movie.
That's funny. I was about to be down on it, but that's actually a funny movie.
And it's like, hey, we found an alien. Nope, close the
You know
door.
what's funny?
Oh my God, there's a
You
demon
go
in the
from city to
sewers.
city, just like from
Yeah.
Maine all the way to California.
Yeah.
Every
like-
single, and he's just avoiding it. He starts off in Maine, he avoids it. Then he goes to
To like Illinois, and then it's like
Illinois.
Freddy
But here's
Krueger.
the
and
thing,
he's
here's the
like,
thing.
Hawkins,
It would be
Indiana.
real.
Hawkins, Indiana.
A black dad would bring home a gremlin. Like, I could see like a black dad going to the swap meet, be like, damn, I only got $5.
If it was cheaper, yeah. If it was cheaper, because like my dad
How much
brought
was it in the movie?
my dad brought home the Sega Master System, like because it wasn't the Nintendo was too much. He's like, yo, it's $69, Nintendo $100. I'm like, Dad, I don't want this. I tell you what, nigga, you gonna play it. So
My
like,
dad
here's
would have forced you to play with the
All
Mogwai.
right, so
wait,
definitely
200
play with the Mogwai.
$200 for Mogwai in 1984.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh,
What?
nah,
Nigga,
bro.
what?
He got robbed.
$200 for the
That's
Mogwai?
nuts.
No,
Mogwai.
hell
That is
no.
nuts.
What,
Nah,
what
bruh.
the hell?
Would you guys,
Hell
to be
no.
real,
He'd about came up with a fucking goldfish.
if a guy walked in right here and was like, "I'll give y'all all Mogwais for $200. Would you? I would buy a Mogwai.
I mean, now I will.
Now
buy it.
we're up now.
Would you buy a Mogwai knowing what happens? And
Oh,
feel
hell
like you
yeah.
could, yeah, probably
No,
so.
hell yeah.
Because
No.
I feel like they don't become cool till they become
The
little
midnight
green.
rules always fuck me up. It was like, okay, after midnight, technically it's always past midnight. When does the time start versus stop? For the water thing, right?
Damn.
It's like,
Damn.
don't feed him after midnight. Okay,
Time is
well,
fucking
when
relative.
can I
Don't-
start feeding him?
You can't get them wet
Also,
either.
you're the first.
Hey.
If we,
The Midnight Boys apologize for this extended
Yes.
deviation.
we've been going on about this shit for 20 minutes.
Sorry.
Now back to the show.
We got to talk about Acolyte.
Well, hold on. We got to talk about A-Train and Sister Sage.
I will be
'cause
sat day one for training A-Train. I will say that.
I will not be there. I've seen The Blind Side.
No, here's the thing. I didn't like that part because it was too true to life. Because honestly, it is always that thing when it's like you work at a place. It's like there aren't that many black people. She's like, Sister Sage see A-Train. She's just like, hey, there ain't enough room on the 7 for 3 Negroes, so you gotta get out.
Do
of
you
here.
think? Do you think she knows it's him?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. She
For
looked
sure.
at that motherfucker like,
Hey, trying to find out who the leak
it
is.
didn't run out of here
Because
Like,
at the she's hinting to it. If she doesn't know it's him, I feel like it does a lot of damage to her character.
no, she knows. I think
no.
she absolutely
Here's
knows.
the thing. I think she knows, but I also do think that Sage is playing her own game.
Yes.
Where she's not revealing everything that she knows to Homelander. Like I think she is trying to be strategic with, can I use A-Train? Also, I'm gonna be real. At this point, when like Homelander was doing all the blinking and shit and was not there and Sister Sage was looking at him, I'm like, I might need A-Train. So like I'm not blowing up his spot just yet.
Yeah, I think it's a part of that. Like she used that to control A-Train, right? Hey man, I know you were the one who actually did it. If you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm such a Homelander, you're gone. You know? So
How do we feel about Ashley losing out on her best eater? She didn't take it well.
nah, I mean, what can you do at the end of the day, man? Like the game is the game. You gotta chalk it up to
I
that.
felt sad for her.
Me too.
She
He
came
can't-
over,
he can't stop losing.
She came over there trying to dom him up.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being that freak nasty with somebody and having them just turn on a dime like that?
Because she was trying to get him to pop the anal beads back in on stage, and he's like, I'm
I'm
cool
good
off that,
actually.
sis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and
that's-
he took like a bit of the green bean, whatever, like tough scene. Hope we can be friends. I was like,
Yeah, it's like,
I get why she would take that mean. I guess I get why she'd be
It's
hard
tough.
about it. That was tough look. That's a tough look.
So this is what I'll say. I'll say that, you know, like we're at the midway point in the season. A little bit past that. Before we get out of here with the boys, what are the 3 most interesting threads still left to pull on? Obviously, we have the virus that Butcher wants to
That's the least interesting.
soup up. You say it's the least interesting to try to take out Homelander. We have Homelander and Ryan and Butcher.
What's going on with Butcher's powers?
What's going on with Butcher's powers? What's happening there? And is there anything in the 7? I should say the kids from Gen V.
oh yeah, quick cameo from them.
Quick cameo from them. But I think they're going to be around.
Yeah,
though.
why
They
were
seem
they?
to
I
be
was so
honorary
confused
members of
because they
the
were just
7?
hanging with the 7. I'm like, are they just?
I think
Part
that
of
was
the
like
crew now?
that was staged as like a like a green room, I guess.
Well,
So they go on stage.
the top of Vought Tower.
No, they
is
were
the
at the
green-
top of our tower. I was like, why did
Well,
they
yeah,
get
because
invited in
everybody's
there?
coming through doing the V 52 ish. You know what I'm saying? So like that's where Cameron was. Those are the Deep was.
Yeah, but then
all
they're part of
eating
the
and
whole
stuff.
speech that Homelander gives. It's like, all right, we're going to be badass motherfuckers now, and they're like,
Yeah, I don't
whatever
know
you
why
need,
they were.
A-Train.
I don't know
I'm
why
like,
they were in the
really?
room for that specific moment.
Yeah,
But I guess it was just, well, you're here now. Let's lock in. Type beat.
it's interesting.
So yeah, I think those are kind of things I'm watching. And also, you know, just Victoria Newman and that character is such an intriguing character that we're not really seeing.
They gotta be doing more.
A lot of, so we'll,
Huey's such a lucky man, though.
yeah, in real life.
In real life.
Oh, by the way, shout out to Eric Kripke and the rest of the boys. That it was just a very funny little anecdote that the scene of her looking at the butthole was real.
Yeah,
That was a
it was
real-
it was an actor
Yeah.
that they made. Which
Yeah.
How much
tough.
how much money would it take for you if you were a model? What would your day rate be to show your butthole to the entire world in that situation? How much would they pay you? What would be your day rate?
Am I a working actor in LA?
You're a working actor in LA, or you're a model. There was a model.
Or a
How
model.
much
I'll go
would it-
5-figure sum.
You have to give me the exact number though. What number are you going to show your
5
butthole
figures,
for?
you nasty, freaky ass motherfucker.
What? It's not. Is that not enough for you?
Dog, I'm not doing it for any less than 200.
I was gonna say
200,000.
like 150.
Yeah.
Here's
that range.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
turn that around. You're an actor that's unknowingly opening a phone that you need to act and react to. What's your per episode ask after you unwillingly see a butthole?
That's.
I've seen so many buttholes on my screen. It's fine.
What do you mean by that?
Willingly?
What do you
They
mean
have
by
a
that?
hole?
What do you mean by
A
that?
love to hear
whole
it.
thing on Pornhub that's just anal. I've seen a lot of.
Are you watching?
Yeah, I don't know.
So just listen.
You
So
prime era Guantanamo Bay George Bush would not have gotten that out of me. That's crazy.
I just don't understand y'all.
That's crazy.
I really can I say this? I mean,
We're watching The Boys.
We
I
go
feel
back
like you
to
could
the
have
well.
kept that to yourself.
Hold on, I want to go back to the question
You know how
about
easy it is to
the
not
money.
say that?
You know what? I want to go back to the well. I know we go back to the well about this all the time, but like, what's the big deal? It's porn everywhere. It's butthole. We live in a butthole-based society. Y'all didn't see.
We are a butthole-based society.
Y'all didn't see.
that is-
Show me, because
Kalani,
you know what?
I'm gonna
I
turn it
didn't
down on
see-
you,
Shout out
Jomi.
to
You've never clicked
A
on one of those videos
butthole-
ever in your life.
A butthole-based society. That's why we're all full of shit. Oh,
Wow, that's a good one.
God, man.
But I'm just
You
saying,
guys
you
are
saw
not
the butthole
serious.
in The Boys. By the way, I'm telling y'all right now, if y'all, so you saying right now, you said how much? What's the dollar amount?
150 to 200,000.
150, 200,000?
You said
I'll-
5 figures.
Yeah, 5 figures.
I'll say
Stand on
like
business.
75. I don't know.
Okay, what about you?
I said 150. 150.
150. Let me tell you guys something for right now. All three of y'all are showing butthole for $10,000. Five.
10,000
Nah.
in
Yeah.
2024?
Close, yeah,
Because
nah.
After
nobody's-
taxes?
Turn my phone off. Turn
I'm
my
taking
phone
home
off.
like 7,000. I'm not
Because-
showing my
turn
butthole
my
for
phone off.
Because
$7,000.
nobody's even really gonna know it's you.
Nah.
Like nobody's gonna know it's you. Like if it's a reality.
I would. The
They
casting
$10,000
director
They
would.
came to that actor and they was like, "Look, 10,000 for the butthole," and boom.
Okay, but check this out now. Yo, you be like, y'all was in The Boys. Where were you in The Boys at? Nah.
Right. That you don't
You don't
exactly
have
put that on your IMDb.
Well, if you
like,
want to tell people, then you can tell people. By the way, if you was gonna show anything, the butthole is probably the best thing to show. What does that really say about you? You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, I told you guys I got the Brazilian wax. You guys heard that, right?
You got
on
what?
higher learning. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a Brazilian wax. So
Right.
after that, I feel like somebody deserves to see.
Look upon my works, ye mighty in despair.
Yeah,
Mhm.
got Brazilian wax this past weekend
I'm
Why?
happy for you, man. Congratulations.
because I was running a lot. I was starting to get ingrowns. And it was like,
Yeah.
you got the Brazilian wax. Anyway, so
the Acolyte.
What is this episode?
okay, we gotta go. It's not. We've lost it.
Man, can't wait for Huey to leave The Boys, man. It's
Yeah,
gonna
it's gonna be a great time.
It's gonna be great.
All right, it's time. I'm very excited about this. The Acolyte.
The Acolyte.
All right, let me play the spoiler warning.
Let's Acolyte it up.
We're getting ready to talk about
The Acolyte.
You're listening to a reaction podcast. The spoilers are coming. All right, gotta put you in the know about The Acolyte. Only person that can do that is Chuck. Only way to do that, Midnight Manifest.
All right, this is your Midnight Manifest for The Acolyte Night. Directed by Alex Garcia Lopez. Written by Cora Donna and Cameron Squires. The mysterious Sith warrior dispatches of most of the Jedi, but finds his match in Sol. Yord escapes with Osha at Sol's behest, while Jecki tries to capture May. Osha runs back to help her Jedi friends, but not before the Sith warrior kills Yord and Jecki and is then revealed to be Kamir. Osha stops Sol from killing Kamir and ends up beefing with her sister again. May knocks Osha out with the Force and swaps clothes with her. May, disguised as Osha, goes back to the ship with Sol, as Kamir finds Osha dressed as May in the forest. And that's been your very short Midnight Manifest for The Acolyte.
Go.
This is what we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
The Acolyte.
This is
Is Acolyte. Like,
Yeah.
it is like, here's the thing. I'm not saying that this fixes anything. Like, my problems with the show are still my problems with the show, but like, I just have a dumb lizard brain. And when they started scrapping with the lightsabers, Sol and Kamir were doing hand-to-hand combat, I'm like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
This is what we've been waiting. I'll ask you this. Do you feel like they fucked up by knowing that they had this in the bag and waiting this long? I'm like, this to me sets the tone for the show so much where I'm like, oh, finally. And I'm just like, is it too late? Did too many people write off the show? Did they think that they had more goodwill than they did?
So this is what I'll say. It's a good question. Tonally, this episode is different from any other episode in the show.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Now, the question that you're asking is could they have gotten here sooner? Absolutely. What I'll say is this. I'll say that I think that maybe they thought the things that they had in the first episodes leading up to this were a little bit more compelling than what they were. Some of it was cool to watch, but none of it really had the feeling of high drama, intrigue, and conflict that this episode did. This was like fucking amazing from start to finish. And all the questions that were being asked, all the questions that were being answered, the desperation. But I don't know if they could have gotten there any faster. I do think that they could have gotten there better.
No, not even. I'm not even asking for if they could have gotten to this episode faster. More where I was just like, oh no, what you guys are doing, staging wise, lighting, tonally with the fights. I'm like, where was this for the rest of the series? Because we've been asking this question: why can't the Jedi be cool? And Soul, I'm like, Soul got busy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, they were cool.
Jackie got busy
They were
too.
Jackie got busy too. They were cool. They got fucking washed out of their boots by one motherfucker.
Whoa. Let's be
Like
clear.
they were very cool. Look,
Here's the thing. Jackie got heart. If you want to, if I was
rest in
Yoda,
peace.
if I was Yoda, I would scrap all the fucking Jedi and be like, I need more Jackies. Like, just like she was like going fucking ham. She was angry too.
At when they first started fighting, I was like, oh, it's over. This guy's supposed to be like a Jedi or a Sith master. You out here with the Padawan. It's not gonna go great. She held her own.
She was the only one with besides Soul. She was the only one with heart. I'm like, she giving it her all, bro.
Hey. You thought Yord would be ready with it, but no,
Yord. We gotta talk about it. What they doing to African American men in a galaxy far away? Yord didn't do shit. He got his neck snapped. I'm like, bro.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's getting your neck snapped. That's a bitch ass way to die, bro.
In Star Wars, when you got a lightsaber,
you got the General Zod. It was.
Whenever somebody snap your neck like that, that's actually the sign that you ain't shit. You know, boom, 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 but snap. That's how you kill like rogue guy number 3 that way. Not like somebody
Manny
that got
didn't
lines.
even use his lightsaber. Like he was just like, I don't even need a lightsaber.
He used that shit for a flashlight this episode. That's
Here's
not even
my
crazy,
problem with
bro.
Yord. Yord talked a big fucking game. He's taking off his shirt. He's Mr. Sexy. I'm like, you let the Padawan run circles around you?
He was brave though. I will to give Yord was brave. He was brave and he was very diligent and disciplined as a Jedi. Rest in peace, Yord.
He was brave. He died braver than most.
He did. I mean, he died trying to get
Yord's a sucker, bro. I'm done. I'm like,
we gotta talk about the way Manny went and killed like half of those. Like I can count like 7 bodies.
No, half. He killed them all. They all died except for Soul.
He like there's one guy on the floor. Remember before even the title rolls, he's got one person on a lightsaber. Force brings up another one.
Nuts.
He kebabs
nuts.
Man.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't. If I'm Soul, I'm not even I'm not even going back to Coruscant. It's like, like imagine you roll up and Yoda's like, where's everybody else? He's like,
you're not gonna believe this shit, bro.
Like, you are not gonna believe this.
But here's the thing, bro. Like, I gotta give it to Manny because like I didn't really like his portrayal of whoever the fuck he was.
Yeah.
But the moment he had this sauce in this episode, when he took off the fucking mask, he had the arms, he was fucking, when he did, who did he kill? Where he did the lightsaber thing was like, boom, boom, boom.
That was Jackie.
That was Jackie.
That shit, I was like,
He triple tapped her with
it felt like gunshots.
Yeah.
Like, bah, 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 bah.
Yeah.
Like, poof, oh, man.
By the way, what is is he turning people's lightsabers off or is he disabling them?
Okay, this is a very interesting thing. So it's like, oh, you got it.
Yeah,
go, Jomi.
Jomi the explainer.
It's called cortosis.
Mm-hmm.
It's a metal that you can use to disable lightsabers for just like a couple
Oh,
of seconds.
yeah.
Put it on cooldown.
Yeah, basically. So when you like, he can hit it and it'll like short him out for a little bit.
So what is he doing?
He's like basically like just putting it in like on top of the hilt, basically. Mm-hmm. And it just like fizzes and shorts out for like 30 seconds or whatever.
And then it comes back.
Think about it like blowing a fuse and you gotta like reset it
mm-hmm.
for a second.
Yeah. That's what the helmet and the gauntlets
Which
are made
again
out of.
is the amount of like clever shit that this show has up its sleeve. The sheer like amount of violence, let alone like creativity to give us.
That was cooking.
With like, okay, the way that the helmet falls off, first of all. Second of all, like the way that every single fight is conceived. And then we actually get a incredibly compelling story, like small interactions between Manny and Soul. Like I was thoroughly compelled by everything that he was doing, and he's acting circles around this entire cast after this.
I mean, Manny's always had it, man. You can point to Jason Mendoza. He got caught out of Top Gun Maverick, tough scene, but he's always had some juice. But
I will say another problem is like when Manny gets to be like, I guess they're officially calling him the Stranger, but he gets to be the Sith warlord. It's the first time on this show I feel like anybody has had charisma. Where it's like a presence when he is on, like, I'm like, oh, I'm scared of him. And it was like, first of all, the helmet is cool. But when the helmet goes off, I'm like, bro, he's
cool as shit.
He's menacing. I feel like they're in danger. It's like, even though I'm just like, oh, the Jedi were whack as fuck for getting washed like that, I believed that he could do that.
Yeah, well, the Sith, the Sith always comes through and is worth like at least 4 Jedi, right?
Yeah.
The Sith is, but the display of power was breathtaking. And also, this is going to sound stupid, but nobody in this show seemed confident until he showed up. Everybody seemed to be in limbo about something. No one was resolute. Soul had all of this stuff in the past that he was trying to keep hidden. Both Osha and May both seem like they're incomplete parts of them. The Yord seems like he's trying to be a Jedi. He's a Jedi. He's trying so hard. No one seemed really confident and resolute, like, this is what I want. Until he showed up. And when he showed up, it was like, all right, well, I'm here now. I am the bad guy. And it seems like it cemented the show when somebody was there just to stand as granted and be like, this is the thing.
And I think that that's what we've been waiting for the show to do, because the entire reasoning for the show to happen is like, oh yeah, what's going to be the philosophical counterpoint to the Jedi to like bring back the Sith? Like, what do they have against the Jedi that is actually going to feel so strong? We didn't get that in May. She's not our avatar for that political ideology. She's just more of the person that's like, okay, well, the Jedi fucked over my family, so I want revenge on them. But like the person that's pulling my strings actually gives a shit about what the Jedi are about. Like, when Soul was like, you killed a child, it was like, you brought her here.
Yeah,
he called her. First of all, he called her an
dumbest shit ever.
Is that its name?
Is that its
name? Killed
name?
a child. I'm just like, Soul,
come on,
bro.
I mean, you guys use child soldiers.
It was like, and like he
He's
immediately
teaching
throws it
the
back. Like, what does it matter?
soldiers.
Yeah, and I mean, just for me, now there's still huge parts of the show that, and we can be honest about what we liked. The show was moving slowly before and setting up a mystery that still hasn't crystallized, right?
I'm not interested in the mystery.
Okay, so there we go. So the mystery hasn't crystallized, right?
Yeah.
And what this show is, if we're being honest, be honest about the Acolyte, it's low-hanging fruit in terms of a cool bad guy in Jedi action. So it's always going to get you.
Which is fair. But you got to think about it. Like, of all the Disney Plus shows, when have we seen a saber fight like this? Even in like Star Wars lore, ever like since what? Maybe the throne fight in The Last Jedi.
I'm not a big fan of it.
Right?
You don't like the what was the throne fight?
But then you'd have to go back to what? Mustafar?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's 2005.
This is like some of the coolest shit we've had.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is not some of the coolest shit that we had. I mean, in terms of saber fights, I'm not saying that this is not the coolest shit we have. What I'm saying is that, like, to give you an example, I always use the Kalika model, right? I'm sitting down watching it. She walks past and she goes, oh, because what she sees is colors.
Yeah.
She sees
Or Manny Jacinto's arms.
No, could be that too. Whatever. What she sees is colors. I'm with it. Do your thing. Like, she sees colors and she sees Jedi fighting.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, who are they fighting? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, remember the inner, and she's like, oh, the guy who floated down. She calls him the vampire.
I can hear Kalika saying that.
She goes, oh, the guy who floated down, that's the guy? And I'm like, you want me to? She says, yeah. So now I know I got to start it over.
Sure.
So we start over and you're seeing everything that's going. So that's all very intoxicating. Yeah. Where we leave off, though, is interesting.
Yeah,
we leave off back to the place that we kind of started with a lot of questions about what happened on the planet to all the witches
Right.
and what Ocean May are up to. So
Pulled a parent trap at the end there.
at the very
Mhm.
the whole very she cut her hair off. Just take the shit and cut
I
your
bet
hair
that
off.
So
smelled
here, I
nuts.
have issues with this.
That was so funny.
What did
Yeah.
you say?
Burnt hair, like just singeing it with a lightsaber. Burnt hair smells nasty. Have you ever smelt burnt hair?
You ever like been
I
over
know,
a grill? and
I
burned?
grew up here. I was gonna say
I know what you're trying to say. Why would it? Why
I
you
see
trying
what
to say her
mean.
hair? You
I
trying to say
see-
her
I
hair
see what you're
stank?
saying.
Trying to say her hair stank?
No,
It's
I'm
not.
trying to say burnt hair smells.
You ever burned? Like,
you ever burnt hair?
The white people burn hair smells. Our hair smells like fucking chocolate when we burn it. Don't talk about our
Okay,
hair.
now somehow that okay.
yeah.
Cocoa butter.
Yeah. Play the drums,
We're being
nigga.
real though.
No, I'm not.
What she does.
Okay, Metro.
Shut up
Gonna
and make
play
some
some drums.
I'm fucking with Steve. Go ahead.
What she does, first of all, that was the corniest shit ever.
It
What
was
she
corny.
does, I was like,
It's when you lean over because you don't want to get singed on.
and I'm like,
lightsaber.
first of all, I'm like, if I'm Soul, immediately I'm being like, hey, I agree with Steve. Your hair's burnt. Like I can smell that shit.
yeah.
Second of all, your fucking hairline is fucked up. You're obviously not fucking OSHA.
He couldn't feel like
you can't.
they
you can't
don't
sense
man.
that.
they don't
Said something with
this
the force. God
this
damn
is
it.
the only-
But Manny said he didn't want to take off the helmet. He's like, so you can read my mind? So I'm like, so he's powerful enough to read minds where this Sith fucking warrior is scared of Soul, but he's not smart enough to be like, that's not fucking.
Well,
also,
I mean-
also, when did the Magneto rules come
That
into
was
Star
I
Wars?
was
Yes!
thinking.
Right,
I was thinking
yeah,
the
yeah.
same
When did
thing.
that
I was like,
happen?
They gave more the Magneto helmet. That's nuts.
But I just thought the only thing I thought was, and maybe they have. We don't know. Maybe they have. We
Maybe.
don't know. Maybe they have. My first thing was she's gonna go back around him and he's gonna feel that something's different.
Yeah.
Right.
He's gonna be able to
Yeah.
feel. that
Maybe
it's different.
he's going on the ship and he's just like,
Maybe
next
he knows.
episode, I want to give it that credit.
Yeah.
But this is not a great week for twin representation
Dude.
in nerd
Real tough.
culture. Because even when May is like, I'm gonna switch clothes with her and I'm gonna act like I'm friends with Soul. I was like, why are we doing this? This Looney Tune shit. Real
Back to back.
I'll tell you this. They have to tell us what happened on the next episode. I don't want to go another episode without knowing what happened.
Because it actually feels like the show has just started.
Yeah, they
Right
have
now.
to tell us what happened on the next
Oh,
episode.
when the episode ended without us revealing the mystery, I was like, to your point, I was like, we are getting to a point where I don't give a fuck what happened to the witches. I don't give a
You
fuck
have to care.
what happened to the Jedi.
Yeah.
I like y'all gotta, because it does feel like this episode was so much forward momentum, and then when it ends without them really revealing anything, I was like, guys, 3 episodes left.
I'll say something else. He could have killed her. There's a reason why he didn't.
Yeah.
I think he
He was-
was her.
Yeah, he could have killed her. There's a reason why he didn't. He's killing everybody else. I mean, look, having somebody with a lightsaber too. By the way, that's fucking rad, bro.
That's nuts.
Like a gun. He's like,
Having somebody with a lightsaber to their head. If you wanted to kill her, you'd have just killed her. There's a reason why he was.
we didn't even think like we speak of the lightsaber
Mhm.
when he's got Jackie and then he like pops out a lightsaber from his lightsaber.
Yeah.
Oh, he does that.
Uh-huh.
That shit.
So, also, I was gonna ask, do we think Manny is a red herring?
In
Well,
terms of what do you mean?
yes.
You mean there's a master above the master?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because there's, I mean, the hierarchy is there's a master, there's an apprentice, but under the apprentice is the acolyte.
Right.
Right. That's
Mhm.
like how that goes. So we thought that, he was the master and trying to make May the apprentice, but
Right.
actually
We got somebody up top.
there's somebody above him, and to Sith the rule of 2, he's trying to get him a second person to take over for the master. Probably that's just usually how that goes.
Because I was like, because I'll be honest, when I did realize it was Manny, like Manny killed it. He is the most charismatic motherfucker in this series so far. I was a little bit like womp womp when the reveal happened. I was just like,
They telegraphed it a little bit.
it was
telegraphed
a
it
lot
a little
of it.
bit, brother.
He had his helmet in the gigantic bag that he was carrying.
This is like, man, are the Spurs going to draft Victor Wembanyama number 1 overall? Who knows?
You know, y'all saying that, but everybody else had somebody different that they thought that.
no,
'cause
I
not-
said it was like it's obvious.
Steve had it by like episode 2.
Yeah.
By episode 2, we're like, it could, might be like you were talking about. It could be Indara.
But
By
I
episode
thought it was
3,
too easy.
exactly. By episode, I'm like, well, if it's not him, then like that's just kind of insane. But also like, it's too obvious now at this point.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
if
really a mystery
That's
anymore.
the thing, though. If it wasn't him, the show hasn't given us anybody else to actually either know long enough or care about long enough.
That was
Yeah,
why
but it's
the
a
reveal
mystery
fell
though. That's
flat,
what. Yeah,
I was
It
like,
supposed to
all
be
right.
when his helmet pops off and he triple taps Jackie and her body falls. We're supposed to be like, oh shit, it's Manny Jacinto. We're like,
Boy, he looks
Yeah.
cool.
The
Once they,
reveal,
once they show his arms, I knew.
yeah,
it.
the reveal itself. I mean, the character had done so much work by the time the reveal happened that I was just kind of swept up in it.
Mhm.
I didn't think that I was going to get a reveal that really mattered unless it had been Jodie Turner-Smith's character.
Mm.
That's the only way that I
Which
would.
I don't. Yeah.
Well, he does. Because here's the thing: if there's a master or whatever,
It could still
she
be
does
somebody.
say,
Mhm.
"Oh, because they're just like he stays in your head." And then I think it was Osha who said, "My mother could do that." So I'm just like, is the mother is she the master, or did one of them survive and potentially this is how they're getting their revenge?
Could be.
Yeah.
See, all of that stuff these are the questions we're supposed to be asking about the show, because the show is supposed to be deep in this sort of subterfuge and this mystery and all of that stuff. So I think this episode was a perfect episode for them to reset the entire show.
Mhm.
And I'll say this is not a novel claim to make or an original claim to make. I think this show will be better reviewed, or we'll have a better understanding of it when it's all finished, just because of all the things it's trying to do.
For sure.
Yeah.
As an episode-to-episode show, there might be times where we're like, that just didn't work. Because once again, some of them seem so incomplete and like they don't quite make sense why things happen the way that they happen.
Yeah.
But if we get 3 more episodes that really answer a lot of questions, we might rewatch 1, we might rewatch 2, we might rewatch 3. These are not episodes of Star Wars television that I hated. They're not at all.
Mhm.
I'm saying you might go back and look at them differently
And see new
when
things.
and see new things when you have the full scope of what the mystery and what the world is.
If I'm being honest, this is the most enjoyable TV show to me, the Star Wars TV show, since fucking, I don't know, like
Interesting.
Mando season 2.
Okay.
Where like
Wow.
I mean, what's it competing against? I didn't really like Ahsoka.
Right.
I didn't like Book of Boba Fett.
And
I
there was
didn't
a
like-
different-
you
The World
didn't
of
like,
Worlds?
you didn't like Ahsoka.
I didn't like Ahsoka. Andor is the
Andor's in
number.
a different.
He's in a different
yeah,
tier.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
like
yeah.
I didn't hate Ahsoka, but I didn't like it.
Right.
Obi-Wan fell flat for me. Book of Boba Fett. At least this one, I'm just like, they're trying some shit. Like,
Yeah.
once again, I've never really seen in a live action Star Wars show them incorporate martial arts in the, because we're always like, well, of course the Jedi know martial arts. I'm like, well, why don't some of them fucking use it? And this was, I was just like,
Soul was doing his.
Yeah.
he was
Soul
like,
doing his.
and I was just like, okay, I will give this show more credit because it's showing me stuff where I was always like, I've been waiting for somebody to do this shit.
The Jedi be kicking and stuff though.
Yeah.
They kick. They like to kick. They kick you in the chest.
I mean, it's like it's the robes. Probably you can't really like
They
cock
get
a
up
punch
there,
like
got
that
the-
in a robe.
Yeah, doing all that stuff. I ain't gonna lie, bro. The Jedi gotta change like the Padawan training center or some shit like that. They can't. It was 8 people, bro. This motherfucker looked like. Remember that run that Marshawn Lynch had against the Saints?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Beast mode.
Remember that? That's how he
Yeah.
looked, bro. Like it was nuts. At a certain point, I was like, man, and I'll say, look, this show has some balls, man. To kill off Jecki and to kill off Yord, to kill off a cute young Padawan.
Yeah.
This was a brutal episode of television.
Like
This show
I
has
think,
some
the, I think
balls,
the level
man.
of violence that we saw here might have been the most violent thing that I've ever seen in
Like,
Star Wars.
This entire show is based around dead Jedi.
yeah.
But I didn't give a fuck. Like, here's the thing. Manny was so cool. When Jackie got popped, I'm like, all right. Coach,
Oh,
like,
you ain't care about Jecki?
That's-
Or you
come
just
on,
don't-
man.
you don't just- I mean,
Yeah,
you just
come on,
a-
bro.
what did you,
Yeah.
the only time
He was a
Jackie was
fucked up
cool in
ass
this
nigga.
entire series was this episode.
Yeah, but she was like a young
She was-
person.
yeah.
You know what I mean? If you don't care about that.
When your snap, I was like, all right.
That was tough. His haircut could go, but I was
I
legitimately.
had a good joke. I can't. It's too much for the podcast.
Is it when he
No, you
singed
gotta
it with the
say it.
lightsaber too?
No. We can't put it in the podcast.
Okay, we won't. All right.
Also, we got to shout out real quick. My man Basil. Here's the thing.
Honestly,
he was just like walking. Everybody's getting.
I got a feeling that he saw that Manny when he came down from the trees. He knew Basil was out, and he's like, you know what? I'm not going to kill him.
He better not have. I was worried.
There's
I
no
was
way.
like,
Can I say something else just real quick? You know, I love to have these conversations. Once again, instant reaction show, like, so we can spitball a little bit. So he killed 8 Jedi that have been training with lightsabers this whole time, but the flying bug people, too much.
well, it's a lot of bugs, and you know, you
So he literally, the Jedi are standing there, he just blows them away with the Force. But the bugs, too much.
the strong.
I
bugs.
did have that question where I was just like,
Just get away from me, bug. Lightsaber. Like the bugs, too much. It's funny.
he couldn't like flip over though, because I'm just like, motherfucker, you could have just been like.
I mean, he was floating last week. You know what I mean?
He could fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can fly.
You know what I mean? But he did eventually beat the bugs. It just took a second.
There's a lot of bugs.
But also, my issue, like, with the show sometimes, I'm like, they playing fast and loose with these rules. Because I'm like, you would have thought, I'm like, bro, Manny at this point could beat fucking Anakin the way he was moving. Anakin never flew. I'm like, how powerful is this motherfucker?
Yeah, I wonder about
We
that.
need the power scaling. We need an even matchup.
Once
here.
again, though, Sith have special, strong shit that they can do. I tell you what, we talk about loving to watch Jedi get down. There's nothing cooler than watching the Sith get down.
Man,
It's pretty great.
Because here's the thing, the Jedi never really, I don't know why, but like the Jedi never really go all out. Sith
The
don't.
Sith are
they have
fighting on
rules.
passion and emotion.
Well, I mean, they talk about in this episode. You know, the Jedi have rules. You can't. There's
yeah.
stuff you can't do. Seth's like, shit, we
Can't break the rules if
let
you
this
don't
thing
follow
fly,
them.
baby.
Tell you
You
straight
can't
up.
break the rules if you don't follow them. Let it fly, buddy.
This guy, you can't kill me. I'm unarmed. You dead.
Here's the thing, I'll be real.
I'll cut you.
Soul was selling like
he
crazy.
did kind of. He sold right there because think about it. You just killed all my homies. My little Padawan.
Oh, but I can't. You're unarmed.
I'm unarmed. Brother.
What lame shit are you
Have
talking
you ever
about?
seen a Jedi kill somebody unarmed on screen? Think about it.
A
Anakin.
Jedi? Well, that's not.
That's
That's
not
not the
Skywalker.
same.
He doesn't count. Kill
Has Luke ever killed someone on screen?
unarmed
Unarmed.
a person. I don't think I've seen him kill.
He's killed a bunch of droids, but no.
Droids don't
But
count.
again, like this is back into a time when they would
Not
probably.
doing this.
Yeah, no, they don't
Not
count.
doing this today.
I'm not
They
saying that the
definitely
show's
do.
saying it, but like it's the idea that like this is where their zealotry towards those rules is probably at its height, where they're like, nope, gotta follow the rules. We can't like.
I would have chopped him into 8,000 pieces.
Yeah, he's done.
Also, and I gotta be real. If I see a motherfucker flying and I got a chance to take him out, I'm going back to the Jedi Temple. I'm like, hey, I know we're not supposed to kill anybody if they're unarmed, but this motherfucker was flying. So we just had to like get him off the phone.
Yeah.
So
He was doing
Anakin
some-
killed Dooku when Dooku was disarmed.
Mm-hmm.
Which he
Literally
wasn't supposed
didn't
to
have
do.
any hands.
Had no hands.
Sure.
But
He was evil by then.
Not really.
Not really. He was still.
We're talking in episode 3?
Yeah, at the beginning of episode 3.
He was probably evil by then.
He was not.
He wasn't evil. No,
Right.
He wasn't evil.
Right.
Yeah.
he killed multitudes of sand people.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
whoa. The
Tuscan, not Tuscan.
the little homies. He killed the younglings.
Oh, he was already Darth Vader.
yeah,
he
he
was
had
done
the,
by
he had
then.
the yellow
Oh, okay.
eyes by then. Yeah,
Yeah, he was already Darth Vader by then. I'm trying to think. Have we ever seen anyone else, any other Jedi kill
Kill somebody
anybody that's
unarmed?
unarmed? I don't think we have. I don't think they do that.
Obi-Wan, no.
I don't think they
That's
do
why the
that.
Jedi suck.
I don't think they do that because I was like, so what I would have done
That's such a
is
stupid rule.
I would have.
You
Well,
want to
see,
plant the lightsaber on him?
yeah, they cops. They
He
cops.
had-
You see, he was reaching for his lightsaber off. Like he was reaching. I thought I sensed in the Force he was reaching for his lightsaber.
wow.
They cops. They do shit like that. They
Yeah,
probably-
there's no body
investigations
cams.
from the Jedi Council is probably.
Wait,
There's no
is
body
that-
cams in
is that
space.
the reveal of the? Is that going to be the reveal of the Acolyte, where the fucking Jedi go crazy and they just like planted some evidence, be like, "Yo, the witch is fucked up." It was the Sith.
You know what the galaxy need? The galaxy need DeRay. They need
Oh,
somebody
to stand up
in a
in a
vest to
vest,
come
right.
out there and be against the Jedi.
mean Han
man.
Solo? Han Solo's
No, because
vest
here's the
not
thing.
doing
If you're
it?
gonna be honest, Mace Windu corrupt as fuck. He would show up and like Jedi mind trick, like fucking DeRay, be like, "The Jedi are great."
Yeah.
The propaganda going. You think they took those bodies off Kofar? Or they just left them for...
We don't even know
Oh.
what happened yet.
No,
okay,
yeah, we
real quick.
don't.
What do we think happened?
Between...
Yeah.
Soul and May and Osha.
What
Yeah,
do
it couldn't
we
have gone
think
down like
happened?
that
It
in
didn't go
episode
down. It
3.
definitely didn't go down the way we see it.
So
Does anybody in the room have any thoughts about what we think happened there? It's
Seems like a clandestine effort to kind of like in Star Trek where they'll send like a couple red shirts or something, like go infiltrate this thing and get some intel. Like if we got to blow it up, you blow it up. You know what I'm saying? They sent the Jedi on a mission they was supposed to go on, and it ended up getting all those witches killed, and they had to save either May or Osha, and just like something they were definitely not supposed to do within the rules of the Force, and they went ahead and did it, and now the chickens are coming home to roost.
Arjuna, what do you think happened?
I mean, it circles around Soul, right?
Yeah.
Like he talks about Soul having the darkness, and I think the perspective we got in episode 3 in the flashback episode shows Soul in the most positive light of all the Jedi. So I think whatever we're going to get, it's going to be something with Soul and his darkness. And they've talked about how do you kill a Jedi without a weapon? You turn a Jedi. That's still got to come for Soul. So he's going to turn.
You said
Oh.
you said it circles around Soul, right?
Yeah.
What does Soul mean in Spanish? The sun. He's the center of all of it.
What's the opposite
Tap
of a
in.
glitch out?
Yeah,
A tap in.
Because that Jomi was on his shit. Let's snap it up for Jomi, guys. Snap it up for Jomi.
Thank you.
Snap it up.
I like the
I have
snaps. The
moments.
snaps are a lot more tasteful
I have
than
moments.
claps.
You like that better?
Yeah.
We'll change it for you. Now we don't clap no more. Somebody else got the clap. We snap. You know what I mean? A mid snap.
We're in.
Right there. Okay, so we're the Acolyte is back. Look, I will tell you something. If
It's Acolyte's back. Was it here?
it was gone. It was gone. Here's the thing.
It has arrived.
I'll say this. If I'm gonna be real with you, just last thing I'll say, if you didn't like this episode, you're racist. So sure. I'm not even if you like, I'll just be honest with you. I get it. It's y'all doing y'all review thing, and
I just wait for the hater copium to be like, well, it wasn't that cool.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The show was kind of making y'all right, but like
You can't fight this one.
the show was kind of making y'all right. But if you didn't like this one, yeah, you probably racist. Okay, nerd news.
All right. 1 second.
Chuck.
All right, nerd news. Guys, we have to talk about it. Finally, we see leaked photos. Leaked, honestly, at this point, I'm like, y'all motherfuckers staging
Yeah,
this.
that's his take.
That
right?
your take, Van, is that they're staging all of these leaks because we're finally seeing the first not official, but Superman in his suit. We've seen Lois Lane. We've seen Mr. Terrific. Van, I need to know from you.
This can't be the way the movie looked, man.
Of course, it's not the way the movie looks.
Yeah.
I'm just
When you say the way
Really?
the movie looks, obviously it looks terrible.
This can't be the way.
The only
movie
one,
looks.
that is before we get to Superman and Lois, Mr. Terrific, bro. What's going on, bro?
I think it actually looks cool. I think Mr. Terrific looks cool.
Okay, so
Steve,
my guy, but I'll say, but I like. So I didn't get a chance to see that much of Mr. Terrific. I didn't get a chance to see his costume as much. Okay, I saw a little bit of it. I can't make any determinations.
Wow,
about it.
you're really.
No, it didn't look great. So I mean, I gotta keep it real with the audience. It didn't look great. It didn't look great. First of all, there's a such thing as being too comic accurate.
yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying? It didn't look great. But first of all, the amount of characters that are in this Ultraman, Mr. Terrific, like everybody's in the fucking movie. And I don't know what the script of the movie entails, but like it doesn't, it looks some of it looks like fanfic.
Well, to be fair,
I just gotta be
this
real
is
with
very
you.
similar to how a lot of the costumes looked in the Suicide Squad.
Do you remember when Dark Knight Rises set photos were leaking and we saw Anne Hathaway's Catwoman and everybody's just like, she's just in pajamas.
I
Like,
don't
why would
remember
they-
that.
I remember that.
I remember thinking, I never really thought she had it like that, but she might have it.
Okay, so you owe her an apology. That's
Yeah.
fine.
We're familiar with her name.
We've had this before where they're like, well, that looks terrible, like in a like paparazzi photo taken from like a quarter mile away,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
in the broad
Hot
sunlight.
take. I like the super. Like I hated the official one they did that looked like it was AI generated. I think the Superman suit
Yeah,
from
the suit looks
from
good.
the tabloid shit looks good.
You guys, That shit looks terrible, man. Like
What?
Okay.
You think the
Terrible?
animals all right?
I don't love it as much as you do, but I do like it, and I'm willing to give it a chance.
I don't.
I'm
well, I don't
going to
love
give it a
it.
chance,
I
but
don't
it looks
love it.
sure.
But it's like, here's the thing. I think Snyder fans can get mad at me. I think it looks better than that Henry Cavill shit.
Of course it looks better than that.
I mean,
Wait,
yeah,
wait,
but-
wait, 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 wait,
Well,
wait.
hold on.
Hold on real quick. Wait a second.
Oh no.
The Superman suit that we've seen on David Cornsweet right now, you think looks better than the Henry Cavill suit?
Hell yes.
I don't understand how one could have that opinion. Like, let's bring it up. Like it looks better than the Henry Cavill suit.
I don't know.
Yes!
I don't know if it looks better, but I will say I think what has occurred is Henry Cavill suit. You know, even like the Zack
It looks
Snyder
like
stuff.
scales.
It's dark. It's moody.
dark.
It's
It's
edgy.
scales. I do think you need the right trunks. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm a Trunks
I
absolutionist
think what
as well.
James Gunn has done went the entire opposite direction.
Yes.
The suit is
And it's
baggy.
just-
So
Okay.
He's brought it all the way back to Christopher Reeve. It's bright. He's
Yeah.
trunks, red, like the
Mhm.
whole
we also
thing.
got to see it. Like, to be fair, we also got to see it in the movie
Yes.
You're right.
where it's like, because
Yes.
like they're gonna do some CGI to it. They're obviously going to like. This is also.
That's Clark Kent.
I dig that. I dig it.
Oh, I think that might be a joke.
That's
That
got
has
to be a joke. That's not serious.
That
And
has to
that's
be a
why
joke.
I think he's like, it's
I think he's
staged.
trolling a little bit.
Because what is
I
that?
really do think that this can't be, because that can't be, bro.
He's trolling because here's the thing too. All right, I'm putting on the tinfoil hat really quick. The first official photo that they released, dog, that was the negativity on that shit was. I know
that was
like
nuts.
Do you think that this is kind of them putting these photos out there, being like, all right, we got to just hit them with a couple paparazzi pics to maybe move the needle?
Maybe not move the needle, but like I feel like people are we're getting into a fervor for this one, and obviously people are excited to know what James Gunn's going to do for this, and I think that he's kind of playing the social media game a little bit. Like you've seen him on Threads now; he's active on Threads.
Good for him.
Weirdly enough, but like he's leaking a bunch of like them reading the comic books, like set photos, yada yada. Like he's really active as to what people are trying to like suss out of him as to what is true for this new DCEU and what is not. And I think that this is kind of part of that. Like I think this is a
Wait,
fine
let's grade.
play.
So can we grade the suit? If we like from A+ being the highest to F.
So it's not. You guys are right. It's not quite fair. So
You love Superman.
I do. You know the aesthetic that James Gunn brings to these things. Think about the Suicide Squad aesthetic, right?
Sure.
How it looked, sort of bright, sort of retro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
A little
Like,
grimy.
Yeah.
grimy, but it's still pretty. I don't know if it works for Superman. I don't.
Maybe. I
Because
think it's-
the reason why I say
Gotta
that.
see it.
The
Gotta
reason
see it
I
on-
gotta see it, but the
Gotta
reason
see it.
why I say that is because Superman is already, when you think about it, the hokiest of the big heroes.
Yeah.
It's Boy Scout, the tights, it's kind of, if you play with that a little bit too much, you can lose the character in the hokiness of it. It starts to look like, like I say, Superman fanfic, it starts
Sure.
to look like that a little bit. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to be the case here. It's way too early. And you guys' points about this being paparazzi stills that are taken on set is well taken. It's a very fair point. But I'm just saying, it's like, it seems, when I look at it, it seems like they're winking at the audience a little bit. I don't know if are they taking the movie seriously?
I mean,
You
but
think they're
that's-
taking the
Honestly,
piss?
I was more excited that they were shooting in broad daylight in a real
But James
place,
Gunn, this is
rather than a soundstage
It's
in
not the
Atlanta.
volume.
It's not the volume. That's what I was most happy about.
Hasn't this been James Gunn's MO for all of his superhero?
I don't think
Maybe.
I don't think we got any leaks from Guardians.
No, not leaks, but in terms of like it being very winky, like comic book accurate, and him basically.
I mean, no, I don't think that this is like what they're exactly going for comic book accurate. I think it's just more of like, okay, modern classic.
But yeah, modernizing.
How am I the
the-
most positive on this?
No, I'm positive on it. I
love
like
this.
it.
I love this. By the way, I'm concerned. I'm not even gonna lie. Like it's.
I'm not concerned.
it-
I'm
it-
not
it's
I'm not
what-
concerned, yeah.
I'm concerned. What I'm saying is that I looked at the suit and I looked at Luther and I looked at Ultraman and Mr. Terrific and I'm like, there's a little. I'm going to see this movie. I want to love this movie.
Right.
You guys, I tried to love The Flash. Obviously, I'm gonna try to love Superman. But there was a little concern From me.
What's the best
Uh-huh.
Superman suit live action?
I'm looking at it right now.
What?
It's the Superman and Lois OG from when he saved the woman from the car.
Nigga, fuck no.
I
nigga.
love this suit. I love that suit.
That's a cool suit. That's hell nah.
What
Hell
is
yeah.
the best, Van?
The classic Christopher Reeve joint.
What? There was no other answer.
I mean, there was no other answer.
was no
but
other
I
answer.
I really like
The
this.
classic
There was no
Christopher
other
Reeve
that
joint.
one has some hokiness to it.
Maybe.
But again, to Van's point, Superman is hokey, and I think that's what James Gunn is going to do. He's going to lean all the way into the hokiness.
But I'll tell you why I like that suit. Number one, Christopher Reeve is a big dude, and but he wasn't like overall. He wasn't like
Jacked, yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know what I
no.
mean? But he looked good in the suit, and he looked heroic. I don't know. You guys, it's our job to sit around and talk about shit. We're sitting around and talking about shit. When I see the suits and the stuff that's coming from the set,
Mhm.
I'm like, what the fuck? I'm kind of like,
A
what's
lot of
going
game
on?
left, man.
A
You
lot
are
of game
hating.
left.
There's like
I'm
a
not
year
hating at all.
left. They're gonna
It's
be in
like,
this.
there's
They're
a
gonna be in
lot
the
of game
CGI
left.
labs for
I hate
years.
being the
you know what I'm
positive
saying?
one on this. Is this how y'all feel all the time?
Yeah.
Last nerd news: Green Lanterns got a straight-to-order series by HBO. Chris Mundy, showrunner, True Detective, Night Country, Ozark. He's worked on both. Damon Lindelof, Tom King co-writing Logline. New recruit Jon Stewart and Lantern legend Hal Jordan are two intergalactic cops drawn into a dark Earth-based mystery as they investigate a murder in the American heartland. So they are making True Detective Green Lantern country.
Tyrese
I'm
Gibson,
in.
come on down,
I'm
baby.
all the way in on this.
Let's go.
Tyrese.
Love that.
Here's the thing,
Tyrese.
James Gunn. I promise I will be a DC fucking chill if you put Tyrese.
It's time. Let's
It's
go.
fucking time.
I'm excited.
This is gonna be great.
I'm ever since like one of my first like comics I ever got into, like I watched movies, was like a Green Lantern run. And so to finally have like the movie, no, we don't want to talk about the movie. Even Ryan Reynolds don't want to talk about the
Not
movie.
that bad.
Don't do that.
Wow.
Don't do that.
Well,
Not that bad.
Don't
shelving
do
that.
that.
It's a-
Shelving
it's
that.
I
a-
agree.
Okay.
Okay.
Not that bad.
But to have like the lanterns, like that movie scared them away from doing anything like that
Yeah.
for a long time. To finally have lanterns back in our screens again, I can't wait. I'm ready.
Here's the thing. Green Lantern was one of my favorite comics growing up. I don't really fuck with the Green Lanterns anymore.
I mean,
They like the Jedi. They don't like Green Lantern. You can make anyone with
yeah,
that
they're
ring.
technically
we don't
cops.
have time to
They're-
get into what they did to like Hal Jordan over the years and all
Right.
that stuff. Like it's all bad
Jon
now.
Stewart has always sucked. And be as a cult
Kyle Rayner, Guy
sucks
Gardner,
even more.
like all those guys. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like,
But
it's-
I have to ask, Van, you are producer in
Mhm.
Hollywood. The thing that makes me worried about this series is they've been trying to get a Green Lantern TV series off for fucking years. Like, I think even before this iteration, wasn't Berlanti working on another
probably. Yeah.
Green Lantern? Like,
Yeah.
I've heard about this series, what seems like for years. Are
Right.
we getting, do we think we're actually getting this?
It's coming out for sure. They've actually even changed it. It's not for Max, it's for HBO.
Yeah.
Lindelof.
Lock in.
I mean, Lindelof has the juice.
Lindelof.
Obviously, did
It's-
Watchmen.
It's obviously everybody has their misses, but with him in television, with hours to tell the story, I can't see it missing.
No, I don't. I'm like, is this coming out?
It's coming out. It's definitely coming out. Just the room that he's gonna put together. Remember, like Watchmen had Cord on it and all. It's just the
Yeah.
room that he's gonna be able to put together. This show's gonna be amazing.
I
Yeah.
mean, my follow up question:
Mm-hmm.
moving to HBO, does that change the calculus at all? Because when this was like a Max show, I was like, oh, it's a Max show, but like HBO, I feel like has a level of quality, and you add Lindelof to it, where I'm just like, oh. Can this show jump a level? Can this show be something that like we talk about it like an Andor or a Watchmen or these shows where it's like it almost is good enough to jump over the nerd gap and just regular people are like, fuck, I'm watching the Green Lantern show on HBO.
Did Watchmen
So-
have that much crossover?
I'm not sure. So let me give you my thought on this in terms of the HBO thing and just the marketplace in general. And I could be wrong about this. I think the term streamer is finally starting to be a slightly dirty word in the town. I think that there was an expectation 5 years ago, or maybe even 4 years ago, that the entire landscape of the business would turn to what was happening on streamers and what was important on streamers. I think that two things happened. One, the economics of it didn't work out quite the way people thought that they would work out.
Yeah.
And then two, there was a sort of cultural revolt against that much content coming out at that speed to feed all of those people. And there's been a return to the slow, methodical way that you tell story.
Yeah.
And there's also been a return to the importance of making big things for the theater and for prestige television. I don't think that people believe that prestige television can really exist on the streamer. That the streamer itself, the structure of it is for microwaving content more than it is for making The Sopranos. It's for taking something, heating it up, and then giving it to people.
But I'm even wondering, like, even for them in this to be like, this is a straight-to-order series, HBO.
They're saying something.
That's, to me, they're being like, no, I'm saying to, like, the critics and people are like, HBO is still HBO. This is going to be a level of quality.
Yeah, they're saying something. They're saying, this is not something that we made to fill up space on a streamer to capture people with IP, which is essentially what everybody was doing, right?
Yeah.
What everyone was doing was Warner Brothers was saying, we own these characters and you have to come to Warner Brothers if you want to see them. Amazon went out and they bought Tolkien and they say, okay, we get these characters, now you have to see here. And what ended up happening was people started to look around and it was being like, yeah, I'm only so handcuffed to my childhood, right?
Yeah.
This stuff needs to feel big and it needs to feel important. So what you've seen now is a lot of consolidation, industry-wise, for all of these streamers. They're coming together because they realize they need to do less stuff and do better stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then like movies like Red Notice, not Red Notice, what the fuck what is Red Notice?
Oh, the Dwayne Johnson one?
Oh, yeah.
Those movies, so those films, so that's the most lucrative movie in Netflix history, right? It's got The Rock and Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot in it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like a movie.
No, it doesn't. It feels like a movie that you see in a movie that people are watching a movie.
It does. It feels like a
even
movie
think
made.
about Hitman, even by virtue of Hitman being in the theaters first, and then going to Netflix, that feels like an actual movie in terms of like, oh, this exists in the world, like where it's like it's not as big as like The Rock, whatever the fuck it's called, but I do think like Green Lanterns, they're probably trying to be like, no, this is going to be a TV show.
They want you to take it seriously.
Yeah, like
they don't want it to be something that you can just come back to or something that you can just ignore. They want you to take it seriously.
It's not going to be Titans or Doom Patrol, and that's nothing against those shows.
That's precisely.
I was about to say.
No, it's not. No,
I mean, no, you're right.
But like in the marketplace, people never treated Titans and Doom Patrol
like real
TV shows.
Yeah.
And now they're just like, no, Green Lanterns is going to be something different.
Yeah. And, it's just a thing about a lot of it. Like when I saw that, I was like, you're going to see a lot of that. You're going to see a lot of the movies that like you thought, damn, that was for a streamer. They're kind of like, nah, we putting this in theaters for 4 weeks. We're putting this in theaters for 4 weeks because we want you guys to submit to the story a little bit, get up and go out to see it. That little tagline that you guys are starting to see.
Exclusively in theaters.
Only in theaters.
Yeah.
They're telling you that we made this for you to take this seriously, not for you to be able to watch it while you are vacuuming your house.
Yeah.
Or on your phone.
On TikTok.
We want
TikTok.
Green Lanterns to be Sunday night.
We
want drop your
you,
shit.
Yeah.
Like lock in, which I'm excited for. I'm like, if James Gunn can lead DC in a way where it's like less is more, and also like, hey, even with we're arguing about Superman, just the fact that we're arguing over a Superman suit, this movie comes out next year.
Yeah.
I like that's even a positive momentum. Like, here's the thing. I know I was trolling, but like I was trolling for Black Adam. That's all we fucking had.
Yeah.
And now it's just like,
I mean, they'll be so think about it. This movie will be done by the fall. probably be done shooting before then, right?
End of summer, right?
They'll be done by the end of summer. We'll get a trailer, a teaser
Probably by Christmas.
by Christmas, and then like a real trailer by the Super Bowl. I mean, they have
They're
to
fast tracking it.
Yeah, I mean, they're not fast tracking. I mean,
It's gonna start. Like the promo side
the
was gonna start.
it's gonna start.
The rollout's
so it's
coming.
good for it. But I just take everybody to think about like the moment that we're in as far as like what it means to have a show on a streamer, what the streamers mean, and the fact that the town, particularly after the strike, is wrestling with what it means to produce a show. I mean, I'm not saying, one last thing I'll say about this, that doesn't mean the Bears on a streamer. So there's great, amazing prestige television that are on that comes out on streamers. I'm just thinking it's about to be a little different. And that's going to affect the superhero content stuff that we get out as well.
I mean, my thing is like we're all watching House of the Dragon, right?
Yeah.
Is anybody like tuning into HBO at 6:00, like the HBO channel?
No.
6:00, right?
Yeah.
No, everybody's
but HBO still programmed us where on the fact that there wasn't anything coming out on HBO Sundays that people give a fuck about for months, and now we have something where it's like that's a feeling. People still are just like,
No, I agree,
Sunday night,
Like,
I got
7 p.m.
I'm locked
sat
in.
down.
And I think if they can make a comic book show that people do that for,
Mhm.
I tip my hat off to Lindelof, James Gunn. Like, hell
Yeah, I don't think anything has that same juice as the 6 p.m., 9 p.m. Like Succession,
Mhm.
Game of Thrones, Big Little Lies. Like when 6 p.m. on Sundays at HBO is maybe the last TV thing we have as a society.
All right, that's a wrap. I had a great joke that didn't make the podcast.
All right, brother.
I had to take it
All
out.
right, man.
Every Tuesday and Thursday, House of R will deep dive into the House of the Dragon and Acolyte. Every Monday and Thursday, Midnight Boys will give you their reactions to Hot D. And Thursday for the boys and the Acolyte. Every Sunday, Talk to Thrones will be up right after the latest episode of Hot D ends. Friday, Reinverse Recommends returns with our Rex for the month of June. Our producer is Steve the Architect Ahlman. Jonathan the Hershey Hunk Kermag, and Aleya and Zenieris helping us there with the Midnight Collective. Jomi, explainer Adeniran on socials. Hashtag Red Notice #1 fan.
Look, I thought it was
Fan.
goofy but fun.
You like that shit?
I do. I love a silly
Additional
romp.
production from Arjuna, the Watcher, Ramgopal. Chuck, take us out.
Acolyte has a little bit of life and a lot of soul. And if you send that 6-figure check, you might see a lot of Midnight Boys whole.
I noticed that the actual clip of, by the way, my mother listened to it. She has.
Oh my
Let's
god.
not. All right. Well,
Wait, are we-
Why would we not?
Bring it
I've
back.
seen
No,
the
bring it
let's
back.
not
Let's
stuff.
do it.
My mother
Go,
listened to
go.
it. She had absolutely no problem with the sentiment. I think
Sure.
she did have slight problems with me offering her up. We had to have
That might have been
we
a-
had to have the conversation
sure,
about that.
yeah.
But
I
the
can imagine.
sentiment is she's fully on board with, and she also asked, "Well, are there any?" Because she says the guy has to be over 35. She did lay the
Wow.
ground rules, so you're
It's
out.
tough.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Damn.
Give him my best shot.
Wow.
Did you say you gave my mom her best shot?
Oh, man.
Yikes,
Gotta move
Joe.
on. See what I'm saying?
Jomi.
But we are going to over the summer and into the year.
That's
We are
funny.
going to, like, my mom's dating, but we have to keep our eyes out for any people that might be into my mother.
Right. So minimum age 35.
35.
Minimum age
What's the
35.
So, like, presidential.
what's the Tinder range on the app? So it's
Yeah, what's-
35.
I've never
is
been
the
on
max.
Tinder, so what are they doing Tinder?
Well, like you select your age range
Okay.
from like 35, obviously for your mom, and then what would be the
Yeah,
maximum
what's the
age?
max?
I mean, that nigga could be decrepit. With the fucking
Okay.
crypt keeper. Like,
All right, is your mom, is she dating the entire crayon box?
That's
a
gonna be tough.
Crazy way to put it.
But maybe. I don't know if I couldn't see the white thing.
Right.
She was.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, she was like, she stabbed a white boy with a protractor in the 7th grade.
Wow.
Because he called her the N-word. I don't think she's ever gotten over
That's
it.
fair.
I mean,
She's
yeah,
nice to white people,
sure.
but
It
she
won't
might flash out and stab him with the protractor. So I don't
Okay.
know about that.
Yeah.
May feel uncomfortable. You'll meet her. She's nice.
I mean, I'm sure she's
Um,
very nice.